Ruby, do you have the Edwards account?
Jill does. Just a second.
Production Division, Warren speaking. Oh, hi, Diane. How's your day going?
Mr. Olson's dog got into our roses again.
I thought we had an understanding with Olson. When will that guy learn?
But that's not why I'm calling. When are we leaving for the missionary conference tonight?
Tonight's the conference, isn't it?
That's what I said.
You'll have to pick me up here, right? And we can go straight to the church.
Okay, but you're missing supper again. Mrs. Smith came by with some of her pamphlets again. She means well, but... Don, are you listening?
You pick me up here, right? Yeah, just circle the block about 6:40. I'll be ready.
Finally, one of old Mrs. Smith's poems makes some sense. It's short, to the point. Let's see if I remember it. I'm only one, but I am one. I cannot do everything, but still I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I'll not refuse to do the something I can do.
I think the contract with Allied looks real good.
You know, Don, that poem was written for us.
Trouble is, D.E. isn't sold yet.
Here, so you won't starve.
Where'd you get pizzas this time of year?
Don, are we doing all we can?
If I finish the paperwork by noon tomorrow, maybe he'll buy.
If I can be but a single outstretched hand, sharing God's love with my neighbor, telling of his great plan, working with his hand on mine, work that he began, doing that which I must do, doing what I can, doing that which I must do, doing what I can. Many people yet untold, with faces yet unknown. Though I'm only one, it's true, still I'm not alone. Working with his hand on mine, work that he began, doing that which I must do, doing what I can, doing that which I must do, doing what I can.
Where are the pickers? The peaches will rot. There's one. But where's the others? Maybe there are some pickers on this side of the sea. This is more like it. They must be getting together to go picking. I think I'll join them.
Welcome, brother. You're just in time. The picking's about to begin. Have a seat. You'll enjoy the picking.
Which we all must have a part in. Peach Day, our special day, when we pick the peaches.
Don't you pick every day?
Of course we can pick every day. We should always be ready to pick. Peach picking should never become commonplace. It's so good to turn from the world and pick peaches this Peach Day.
When do we start picking?
We'll soon begin our picking. But first, let's make all the peaches out there feel comfortable. We'll sing Bringing in the Peach. Bringing in the peach, bringing in the peach, we shall come rejoicing, bringing in the peach. The peach, important, our goal, our purpose. We must pick them today on Peach Day. But first, let's all turn to chapter 1. At that time, the picking of the peaches was imminent. And all of the people came out of their houses, and they came every one to this one place, and as they gathered together, they began to sing. And they began to sing about the peach, etc., etc., etc. Great chapter, isn't it?
Pardon me.
Yes?
About the guide.
Ah, the peach picking guide. A real blessing in my life. I can't pick a peach without it.
You need the book?
Definitely.
Tells you how to pick. You need a book? You must pick a lot of peaches.
Oh, well, at least I'm ready.
How often do you read it? What does it say?
Shh. We're missing the talk.
I wonder which trees we'll pick from.
This acre is our harvest field.
But there are too many of us to pick the few peaches that have rolled in. There are many more pickers than peaches.
I know we haven't all been called, but you have a part in my work.
I haven't been to Pickers College or Guide Institute. You need to know how a peach thinks before you can pick it in the right manner.
Huh?
The guide is very hard to understand. You need years to understand it. But then, oh, what a blessing. You can pick peaches, I'm told.
I had no idea that picking was so hard.
Well, the other peach pickers are still trying to steal our new peaches. Their methods are contrary to the guide, and they bruise the fruit. But there is good news. Our new baskets are paid for, and we'll be able to paint the peach monument next month.
This seems a very roundabout way to harvest peaches.
Here it comes now.
We're picking.
Ah, we pick now.
What do you think we just did? The culmination of thousands of hours of committee meetings for this moment.
Can't we all pick?
It's not that easy.
The other groups can't be this mixed up on picking.
And as you go out in this place this morning, out this week into the orchard, I want you to think about picking peaches. I want you to concentrate on picking peaches.
Tell me, does your group demand a degree to pick peaches?
Oh, no. We have enough sense and perception to know that anyone can pick peaches. Once you get the right feeling. I sure wish I could get it.
This group looks active.
Now, men, and you too, ladies, remember all of you can, and all of us must be daily active in peach picking. Let's now review our proven 7-point technique to more effective peach picking.
Pardon me. I'm pleased to see a group that is really about this business of...
Well, thank you. We certainly try to do our best.
I just wanted to tell you about the horrible lack of pickers across the sea. Why don't some of you use your techniques over there?
A wonderful idea. As a matter of fact, I believe in that strongly myself. But we haven't picked the peaches here yet.
I haven't really been called there.
I can't go. My mom's not well, but I am sending a lot of my money.
I go to take a wife.
My sister is picking there now. I think of her often.
Charity begins at home.
Well,
We sure do appreciate your challenge, sir. And we are in perfect agreement with you. Now, class, back to our lesson.
Who's that group? I see they also have full baskets.
Don't let those contemporaries fool you now. They may appear to be successful pickers, but in truth, they just bruise the fruit. No real picking.
They try to modernize the guide.
They're only interested in the grove's approval.
Bad motives.
They think they're pickers, but it's just a game with them.
Beware of the contemporaries.
They water down the picking.
But I see fruit.
Don't let that fool you. only apparent results.
They are not defenders of the grove, just bystanders.
Have a weak view of the peach-picking guide.
Dissatisfied and uneasy with the historic position of the groups.
Scholasticism that reverences scholarship for its own sake.
Accommodates the guide to science.
Engages in dialogue with peach riders.
They're just not separated.
Warms hands at enemies' fire.
Toleration that leads to compromise that leads to apostasy.
Curries favor from peach rotters.
Hey, man, we saw you coming. Glad to see you get free from the old fashions. They lack love.
Yeah, too much old and not enough fashion.
This is love? But that group the old fashions have as full baskets as you contemporaries.
No, it just appears that way. It's only a sham harvest.
No love? Bad motives? Jealous.
They don't communicate with this generation of peaches. They aren't relevant to the now contemporary peach.
Pharisaical, fuzzier than thou.
Borrowed academic strength and intellectual stagnation.
Tends toward anti-establishmentism.
Emphasizes pre-picking dispensation.
No social concern.
Too militant. Too legalistic.
So separated. They are separated from peaches, pickers, trees, and all.
Ignorant.
Contentious.
Cultic.
Extremists.
Obscurantists.
I don't know. Somehow both of you sound different, but yet alike. When are you going to start picking across the sea?
Our thing is work here.
No call, really. Man, I play the bass.
Do you realize how much bread we raise for advanced communication over there?
I go to take a mate.
My roommate's there. She always seemed a bit straight, but I think of her often. I sure back her in her picking.
Love starts right where you are.
Like, man, you sure tell it like it is. Thanks for the words. Now, back to our 4-point lesson review.
It just doesn't make sense. Their thinking is fuzzy.
Look at those peaches.
And they look like they're beginning to rot. What are we going to do?
Why don't you two go out and start picking?
I'm only
one.
But still, each of you is one.
But we can't do everything.
But still, you can do something.
If I can be but a single outstretched hand, sharing God's love with my neighbor, telling of his great plan, working with his hand on mine, work that he began, doing that which I must do, doing what I can.
I'm only one. I am only one. But still, I am one. But I cannot do everything. But still,
I can do something. And because I cannot do everything, I'll not refuse to do the something that I can do.
what are you reading?
A good book. Here, you read it.
This letter's from Paul, Jesus Christ's slave, chosen to be a missionary and sent out to preach God's good news. This good news was promised long ago by God's prophets in the Old Testament. It is the good news about his Son, Jesus Christ our Lord, who came as a human baby born into King David's royal family line. And by being raised from the dead, he was proven to be the mighty Son of God, with the holy nature of God himself. And now through Christ, all the kindness of God has been poured out upon us undeserving sinners. And now he is sending us out around the world to tell all people everywhere the great things God has done for them, so that they too will believe and obey him. Diane, isn't it about time we have the Olsons over for dinner?
Many people yet untold, with faces yet unknown. Though I'm only one, it's true, still I'm not alone. Working with his hand on mine, work that he began, doing that which I must do, doing what I can, doing that which I must do, doing what I can.